Australia versus India, day one from Melbourne. Few people have come in very early.
Steve, you've got the coin.
Heads is the goal. It is tails.
Tails, so Steve Smith wins the toss.
We'll have a bat, please.
Two left-handers in this Australian opening slots here. Chris Rogers, 19 matches, 2 good 50s in the last match. Extremely valuable 50 in that second innings. David Warner is just going through a deep purple patch. Not just a purple patch, he's had a tremendous year.
We go. First ball and a good one.
Good line from Ishant Sharma. Once again, he'll be the senior man at the seam attack. There's that Australian bounce. Painful for Chris Rogers, I'm sure.
Well, to assure you of that, that's a wry smile. There's no joy at all in that. That's a dreadful leave, actually. Gee. This is cannoning into the area where you don't. Everyone feels he's playing, don't they?
It's a good over to begin with. It's a maiden over. It's none for none. Edged and carried. And Shikhar Dhawan takes another good catch. He's had a good time in the slips. Takes another smart catch and slips. And India have got their first breakthrough. You were right, Matthew. This is the time to get David Warner out. And he's gone for a duck.
That's a kind of tennis bally bounce, really significant bounce early, and they carry. They've got their man. He's a huge wicket. And Umesh Yadav here can celebrate. That's a great Chrissy present right there. Australia, their first wicket, 1 for none.
David Warner gone is a great chance for India to start on a positive note here. They are catching up with Australia 2-0 down. Shane Watson has been, well, not amongst the runs. His confidence is not quite high at number 3. Here's an opportunity for India to get their second quick wicket. Standing well inside the batting crease, normally the other way around. A lot forward as well. 3 overs bowled, not a single run scored, and India have got a wicket. This is a good start for India at Melbourne.
Yep.
K.R. Rahul. You know what we're going to say, typically as experts, man on his debut. Yeah, the fielder fumble. There's another one. And this again, you would say, Matthew, is an unforced error.
Yeah, again. What I thought India have done well this series is actually field well. I think this is a tough one. It actually has come off that wicket block, in fairness.
The forced error.
That's why we love it. It's a good shot. Nice area. Straight down the ground. It's short of straight down the ground. Very big square. It's an enormous ground. Australia's biggest.
Yeah, that's a much better length. Hit down the ground. That'll go all the way to the fence. Could be the first boundary of the morning. Yes, it is. Looking for that swing, trying to pitch it up. Very well played by Chris Rogers.
Yeah, he likes a little bit of pace coming on. Good seam. Look, I don't mind that. Saurav as a skipper, you've got more chance of getting LBWs and bowls. That line and length, don't you? You've got to persevere.
Yeah, I'm happy with that length. That's it on the up. Hasn't carried to the gully fielder. Good work by Ajinkya Rahane.
Exactly what you want, skipper, and it's Saurav. He called it right.
That's short and hit through the offside. That's a poor delivery. We'll finish off with the boundary. 30 for 1, Australia after 9 overs. It's a great shot. It's pitched up, hit through the offside. Another boundary for Chris Rogers.
He's following up from his great form from the Gabba, isn't he? This is where he's good. He likes the ball coming on. Good seam. I don't mind this. I don't mind this bowling. He got more chances of getting a few nicks. He's just short of it. You can tell he's not to the pitch, was he, Saurav? But he was in good form.
Yeah, that's good length. Just opening the face. We'll go down to the third man boundary. Good work by Ajinkya Rahane. Watson will come back for the third. So it's been a good over for Australia. 39 for 1.
Well, that's a fine stroke. Chris Rogers has looked good this innings. Much better than the first 2 test matches.
Just a suggestion they might take a fourth, and they pulled it back. 48 for 1.
But if you're going to start at middle and leg, it's not a weakness any longer. But that's a very fine shot. 2 shots in a row. This time he gets 4.
A nice way to bring up a 50 as well with the boundary. A good partnership. Saw the early loss of Davey Warner, so it's been a nice recovery. Sides that tend to get 2 wickets in a row tend to go on and win test matches. That's a terrific shot. Mohammad Shami is just bowling here at a pace which is reasonably steady, but Shane Watson climbs into that.
Now they got him out like that in the second innings in Brisbane. So I just wonder if they thought, right, let's drop one in and see what happens here.
Cut away again. And 4 again. It's been a really iffy over from Mohammad Shami. 61 for 1.
Now the runs are starting to flow. It's that phase in the game where India just need to be a little careful, just running away from them. Is Watson playing himself back into form there?
I think the thing as well during this phase of play is the ball's still hard. When the ball gets soft here on these drop-in wickets, the boundaries start to disappear. And so right now the ball's hard, 15 overs old, it's still travelling to the boundary.
Oh, well shot. It's ballooned a little bit. That's the reason they had a leg slip there. You can understand that conversion rate if he's batting at 6. And if he's batting with a tail that's not very good, so you're getting a lot of 65, 66, and you're having to bat at the tail, gone of the glove.
Once again, that back of a length played down to fine leg. He will come back for the second. Oh, yes, no, that's good work at the fine leg boundary.
Oh, there's the front edge. There's the slowness of the pitch, Saurav, you were talking about. That's hit the front edge.
It's a bit of a tennis ball bounce, the extra bit of bounce which just sits up on the first morning. That's gone past MS Dhoni. That'll go all the way to the boundary. Leg by signal by the umpire. It is not a very good line. He's got to get back to the line just on the off stump, outside off stump. Once again following the leg slip fielder off the thigh pad, and the captain can't get there.
Gee, I just noticed the shoulder there of Dhoni when he rolled over there, and he looked in a bit of pain.
Through the onside, that's his strength. Will come back for the second.
Oh, has he got it? Oh, has he gone? No! Oh, no, it's gone to his left. It was difficult. He had to go to it. I don't think it would have carried to first slip, Saurav. It didn't ricochet off the hands to Dhoni. Let's have a look. Outside edge. Diving. Oh, it's popped up. It's popped up. He's got a second chance. He's had another go at it. No third, and oh, no.
it would have carried to first slip. Good delivery outside edge, good line outside the off stump. Diving Shikhar Dhawan onto the left at his strongest side. Juggled, and just pops out at the last minute.
Again, in the air, and gets it for one. Oh, it's a misfield. Sooner or later, their slip fielding, and their fielding is always going to come under pressure.
Waste of energy, waste of length, waste of a semi-new ball. I wouldn't say new, but a semi-new ball.
Oh, that's just rubbish. I'm sorry. That is just rubbish. A few boos now. Is he asking for a leg side wide or something? It's the red ball here. Mr. Rogers? Or is he saying, is that defensive bowling?
That's poor bowling. Have a look at the delivery. That's short delivery. That'll go all the way to the boundary. 4 more to Chris Rogers. That's poor cricket from India. His 4th boundary takes him on to 42. Coming back to what you've said, Dino, just force him to bowl that line outside the off stump. Short delivery, enough time on the back foot. That's his strength. That's any left-hander's strength. It just baffles me, Mohammad Shami. Since that outside edge, it's just been short. And that's a much better line. Maybe just a bit outside the off stump. And brings to the end of the over, brings to the end of the session. Australia finish off with 92 for 1. They lost a wicket early without a run on the board, and Watson and Rogers have done a very good job. So the session goes to Australia. 65-35 in the favour of Australia. Chris Rogers batting on 46 and Shane Watson on 41.
India started off well. In case you've just joined us, they got the wicket of Warner for a duck. It was a big boost early on. Then Rogers 46, Watson 41. They put on 92 from 28 overs.
Well, that's a good sign. Intent straight away. Shown by Ishant Sharma. Banging the ball in short.
Pick up a couple of runs here. Might even come back for a 3rd. Big boundaries. The straight boundaries are small, but the square boundary is very big here in Australia. Right, what's happened there? Produce a boundary for Australia, bring up the 100, and a big crowd at the Melbourne Cricket Ground will cheer the first 100.
Yes, yes.
50. Workmanlike, typical Rogers kind of innings. But if the numbers don't lie, it's his 3rd half century in 3 innings.
Well, you've got to say he's held the innings together after the early dismissal of David Warner. They needed a steadying hand. He's provided it for Australia. It's a good innings. It's a very, very well compiled half century. Very good shot once again.
I think you could see why Virat Kohli was running after it, because Pujara was the man behind the ball. .50, 8 innings, 5 half centuries and a century. You could say he likes playing here. 1-1, 1 for 1.
To get them changing the way that they're thinking. And, you know, if the problem then is reversed and it comes back on you, you feel uncomfortable. And I'm not sure someone like Rohit Sharma, for example, is that he's a very quiet individual, isn't he? He's not an overly aggressive person.
Outside edge. That's the length you need to bowl, and that's the length you'll get a wicket from. Mohammad Shami strikes. There was a chance of a run out in the previous delivery, but a genuine outside edge, and Dhoni does the rest. Wicket number 2 for India.
You're dead right, Sorev. That's where they should be bowling a lot more. We've been saying it next door in our Channel 9 commentary box. Got to get 4 in Australia. That's the spot to bowl. I think he might have lost a bit of concentration there. 2 for 115.
Steve Smith walks out to bat at number 4. What a series he's having. Got 100 in Adelaide, got 100 in Brisbane. Captain of Australia in the second test. Injury to Michael Clark. A lot of people saying he's the future captain of Australia. He's got a wicket. So back-to-back wickets for India. Trying to play the sweep shot, Shane Watson. We were speaking about the line outside the off stump. But this one pitched in line. And another breakthrough for India. Trying to play the sweep shot. And that's plumb in front. Missed it completely. And Australia lose their 3rd wicket at the same score. 3 for 115. Sean Marsh on strike. He's the new batsman in. He'll have to start straight away against spin.
Oh, here's a big opportunity now for India.
Come back on that in the morning. It's the beginnings for Sean Marsh. Now, has that taken something on the way? Not out, says the umpire. Probably ruled it went off hip. Matthew Hayden called it out here.
Gee, I thought it sounded really good from here.
Yes, the other thing you had to check was there anything on the snicko as it passed the bat and took the shirt along? Or the pudding, you think? Oh, good shot. That'll make him feel better. He has now scored more than his average in recent times.
Yes, it's a game of stats, and it's not a pretty one when you're averaging 8.8. So this will make him feel good. And it was a really good position, batting position as well. Just let the ball come on. That's a good shot.
Break the shackles for 4.
Excellent shot. Good use of feet. He's so positive. That's what I do like about Sean Marsh. He is a player that once he warms into the role of being a test cricketer, I'm sure that he'll be nice and positive and he'll get on with the job. He reins it in, and he tends to leave the ball well.
Now that's a shot you see quite often from Steve Smith, and he's picked his spot this time. He's not gone over long on, but he's gone down the track over long off. So very interesting this period of play. 6 of the over, it's 142 for 3.
How well has he timed this one? Virat Kohli seems to have given up the chase. So he's timed it really well.
He's doing the smart thing as well, presenting the straight face of the bat, the full face of the bat. It also tells you that this is a good wicket to bat on. It's not a half volley, but a really, really nice presentation of the full face of the bat. Oh, that's a good delivery. That's a very, very good delivery. At the same time, I think you've got to say very good leave by Steve Smith, because he came in line towards the off stump and at the very last moment he let it go. Have a look at this. Around the off stump and last moment. I think it's gone off the pad.
Now, you can be given out if you're not offering a shot and the ball impacts you outside the off stump, but the ball wasn't really going to hit the stumps, and that's something the umpire would have observed, so it didn't really matter what happened otherwise. Another good delivery, hint of swing in the air for Umesh Yadav. Just love the urgency in the way Steve Smith goes about his business. Runs hard between wickets.
He's got the extra pace. 148 for 3. Just trying to throw him off his line and his length. But he's doing a very good job. 5 dot balls so far. The pressure on the Australians now.
Slightly loose, just dragging the length back short. Just wonder whether it has some kind of an effect as they come to the end of the over, where they feel one good ball and could be a maiden. Have they run 4? It's 151 for 3. But when you have a guy who's played in the 60s and 70s coming there and giving you the test cap, shows how much history there is to the game. Of course, another test cap was given away, and this one in the Indian camp when KL Rahul was given the cap by the captain. Does play that shot well, picks up length very early, Steve Smith. Just watching Murali Vijay's action, actually he's got a very good action as an off spinner. There again, down the leg side, and is conceded 4. Frustrating just watching Mohammad Shami bowl.
But it's even more frustrating to see that time and time again India has that fielder square up. Why that fielder is not finer is just beyond understanding, because even a deflection of the thigh pad is going to go for a boundary. You have that fielder finer, he has a lot more chance to cover if the ball goes squarer, because the square boundary is going to be much bigger than the finer boundary. It's simple, really, really simple.
Punched away. Ishant Sharma after it. Seen a few threes in this innings, along with a 4-run, all runs. Tapped down to third man for 4. Wasn't such a bad ball. That was a good shot, actually, more than a bad ball.
Yes, it's a good wicket shot. It's a good pitch shot. It's a very, very good pitch to bat on. And Sean Marsh quick to seize on that little window of opportunity that was there. Was it because you were standing there? 174 for 3.
The stumps to signal the end of the session. This is the post-lunch session. Smith and Marsh now in their 20s and 30s. After India got 2 set batsmen out in that session. Chris Rogers for 57. That makes him, well, makes his 3rd consecutive 50. And he hasn't gone on to get a 3-figure score.
Okay, first ball, Ashwin, round the wicket.
Pretty solid session for India. I think you'd have to put that down as a win for the session. I know we did as commentators, but good session. It was brought about by the fact that there was a couple of soft dismissals. Now the opening batsman, Chris Rogers, once again in that 50 zone, and Shane Watson just can't break the shackles, neither of them in this series.
And he plays the shot really well. I think Matthew Hayden used the word breaking the shackles. It was exactly that. And you'll see Steve Smith do it from time to time against the spinners. He'll just pick the ball. But if you notice here, he's actually opened up and played it over wide mid-off.
It's a beautiful shot. I know it's a first day track, but the way he gets into position, he's actually making the bowler think every ball. That's the challenge when you bowl to the likes of Michael Clarke and Steve Smith. I prefer this. On a first day track, I think you get into a negative mindset. Yes, it's fine for a variation, just a couple of overs. Need to come back to this strength.
It's his 14th over. Well, it's a good shot. There's something about hitting it through cover, isn't there? It's a big boundary there, so he'll probably get 3. And they run all 4 again.
coming back to what we were talking about, what a spinner goes through, I think it's not a defensive ploy. Even if you have long on, long off for somebody like a Steve Smith, you know that he's going to play that shot. Make him do something different. Absolutely spot on. And sometimes you're protecting a good ball. Good delivery which you're going to bowl, which might go for a 4 or a 6.
The other interesting thing about what Matthew was saying about what is the bowler's reaction when you come down the wicket.
Scoreboard's not moving on. You're under pressure. The bowling side loves it because you're not getting runs. So it's hard to leave the ball. But it's only when you start feeling really confident that you've got the ability to be able to do it. Wearing a bowler down. That's what Test match cricket is about, wearing a fast bowler down.
Now, is there an edge? A wicket goes. Frustrating if you're in the Australian camp because Sean Marsh has produced a 30 and has got out again. Australia need them to cement places and they're not doing that.
Well, once again, another flashy shot here from Sean Marsh. And gee, it's going to really cost him here as well, I think. It's 184 for 4.
And just 32 after 83 balls. Start of a new over. Always exciting to see a young man playing his first Test match. If you're a cricket lover, you haven't seen a lot of him, you want to know what kind of player he is, because every young man comes in, enriches the game. Average of 42, which is, if you're playing in a competitive league, is very good. It's 185 for 4. Karthik, also an example of why India like Shami. Because he'll keep giving you wickets like that, and therefore why India get frustrated by Shami as well.
Because with new stipulations, it's not easy to get wickets, and he's done that. So you would expect him, the fact that he's broken into the team, having done well in first-class cricket, that he would be good in Test cricket. Burns off the mark and gets 3 runs for that, and 189 for 4. As an off-spinner, you want the seam to be facing leg slip. And that's where Nathan Lyon sometimes scores, especially bowling with that Kookaburra ball, which has got nothing for you after 15-20 overs.
So how do you change that then? Because that looks to me like a very obvious weakness. How do you go about changing that seam position and getting that, as you say, going down towards fine leg?
End of the over. We'll talk about this next over. 191 for 4.
And now he's got a boundary as well. Well, that's Steve Smith, though.
Well, everyone loves a return on investment, don't they, Harsh? That's capitalism at its best. Are you a believer in capitalism?
Just a believer of the philosophy that you get as much as you put in. He's played that well again. I think all day, right from the first day of the series, people have been talking about how square the long leg is.
Maybe conscious capitalism.
Oh dear. Now why would you do that? Really, there's nothing to gain in doing that, is there?
Now there's another one of my pet hates.
Number 1,652.
I mean, clearly he's standing in his crease. See, he's got nothing to gain there at all. If that ball hits him, which, I mean, this is a nothing incident, but that did used to frustrate me. And I did get hit quite often at the crease here, standing my ground, and I used to blow up about it.
You wouldn't have felt it.
Four of that over, it's 195 for 4. Well, he's not afraid to play that one. Just sort of dribbles its way into the boundary, but it doesn't matter, it's 4.
Such a good sign, isn't it? You see a young player come in and play with that sort of confidence, good use of the feet. Bit of flight on that occasion, but He's a good, powerful hitter of the ball. He's cut his teeth in 2020 cricket as well. He's a fine striker of the ball. He's hit a big outfield there. It's massive out that side. That brings up the 200 for Australia.
Spinner's doing 63.9 here. He's got bat on ball on that, and that's not the longest boundary, so he'll get a boundary. It's a second in a slightly different style.
He gets the boundary, but I don't like it. If I had a pipeline to his ear now, or if I was a partner, I'd say, hey mate, you know, like, just come up against the bowler, just try and hit as straight as you can for as long as you can.
Will come back for 3, Stephen Smith. He's such a good player of spin. He goes back, he goes forward, and that's very good running between the wickets. That's a long part of the boundary. He knows Ishant Sharma is not the quickest on the field. He's just finished a spell, and he runs 4. Very nicely hit through the onside. He's in such good form. That'll go all the way to the boundary. It's not the quickest outfield, but he's got enough legs to carry it there. Very good shot from a very good young player.
Well, talk about someone who's making the most of a purple patch. He's in rare form. He's just taken on the captaincy, and that hasn't halted anything from an individual performance. Fantastic balance.
That's what you look to do on day 1 of a test match in these conditions, where there is not much of spin, not much of turn. You look to hold one end, because India has struggled overseas with their spin in the last 4 years, and it's surprising. And it's surprising to see, when we have a look at the graphic, Michael, that the bowling averages has been right at the bottom for Indian spinners. Just batting surfaces, and I'm talking about these averages since the year 2011. And not surprisingly, there has been a drop in India's performance overseas since then. End of the over, 213 for 4. Umesh Yadav comes on. He replaces Ishant Sharma. Stephen Smith on 49.
And I like they've gone for a 25-year-old. They've gone for a young player. We still probably need a few batsmen to announce themselves from a under 25 age bracket. Just some youngsters that are willing to score big.
Very nicely hit through the offside. He is a man in form. Will look to come back for the third. He's so quick in between the wickets, and he completes his half-century. Another half-century from the Australian captain, and another half-century under pressure. He's turning out to be a fine player, not just talent-wise, but also a very good head. He scores runs when it's required the most. It's got him, trying to play the pull shot. Hurried onto him, and young Burns dismissed for 13 in his first test match. An important wicket for India. Australia lose their 5th wicket, trying to play the pull shot, the bottom edge. Another simple catch to the Indian captain.
Disappointment for young Joe Burns. A fabulous opportunity today. He was teaming up with the captain, getting a little partnership going, but the under edge has cost him, and a big wicket for India. 216 for 5 now.
Going around the wicket to Brad Haddin straight away. They peppered him in Brisbane with the short ball. A good over for India, a successful one, 216 for 5. Ashwin to continue. He will be very important, Stephen Smith. First runs at the back for Haddin, that'll make him a lot more comfortable. And once again down the leg side. Yeah, good shot delivery. He will be peppered around the stumps. He's got to find a way to guts it out. Brad Haddin. That's the bowling plan to Haddin, bowling short. It's something which has troubled him in the past.
This is a true test. It really is a true test of character at the moment. It is a plan that they've implemented, particularly at the Gabba. It worked twice, and it doesn't get harder than this at the moment. And that's what he has to keep doing. You were saying he has to find a way. At the moment he is 220 for 5. At Brisbane, just hope they don't get too carried away with this bouncer thing against Brad Haddin. Also this thing, if you are weak against the bouncer, if you know that you have a problem against the short ball, you're also slightly vulnerable to balls that are pitched full outside the off stump because you're thinking of the short ball so much.
Nice one.
I think temperamentally there is certainly growth in the way he's bowled so far in this series. We saw that a bit in England as well. When he was here the last time, it was an experience, and he was typically like he would do at the 50 overs level, T20 level, lots of variation, trying too many things. Mohammad Shami seems to be having some issues. Seems like he's going to leave the field for a while. Hope it's nothing serious, but Shami leaving the field. The full toss has found the gap. Yes, temperamentally I think he's done really well. You can see improvement on that front. It's now just about having the skills to create problems on good pitches overseas. I think that's the huge challenge that lies in front of Ashwin. That's a good delivery. It's a good line as well.
So that could also delay maybe the new ball being taken. The new ball is due after 1.3 overs. There are 2 new ball bowlers available, Umesh Yadav and Ishant Sharma, but another 45 minutes to go.
I forgot another bowler, Ashwin. Dhoni does give him the new ball a lot in 50 overs cricket and T20 cricket, but we'll have to wait and see. Dhoni can surprise you with some of the things that he does. Let's see whether he goes to that option immediately when it's available.
Nice one.
Well, the way both Murali Vijay and Ashwin are bowling, they're not leaking runs, so he might just delay it a little bit. It's a good shot. Very good shot. Didn't try to hit it with the turn, hit it straight. Finishing the over with a 6, 237 for 5. Unless, of course, Haddin hits a couple more sixes.
Where the seam would be. Runs. But Brad Haddin rocking back, hitting that through the covers.
Just a little bit short, enough for Haddin to lean back and cut it through the offside. He'll get 3 runs for that. Playing it from outside the off stump, Steve Smith. He's got loads of confidence now. 242 for 5.
There it is. Brad Haddin can be troubled by these kind of deliveries as well. Important not to get preoccupied with one weakness that a batsman has. When in doubt, there's always a weakness outside the off stump for a bowler. You know, when you look at it, when you try and target a batsman with that line round the wicket, as they did with Brad Haddin there, round the wicket, bounces into his ribs. I mean, there can be maybe just 2 or 3 modes of dismissals. Fending to forward short leg, backward short leg, mistimed pull. There cannot be a leg before. He's already got an edge outside the off stump. So good bowling this from Ishant Sharma with the second new ball. Thrown his bat at it. This is what he does when he's in form. Takes the bowlers on, but he's not been himself with the bat in this series.
It's quite deliberately played this shot. You can see that he was looking to play it over the infield deliberately. He's hit it over that infield, brought the bottom man into play to make sure it is hit over. Got on top, opening the face of the bat, the bottom man coming in. That's a strong one. Deliberately played, no third man in position.
Staying out of the pads, runs in the leg side. KL Rahul, the fielder. This controls the new ball best, Ishant Sharma. All the others just struggle a bit to be pinpoint accurate outside the off stump. Creating the right kind of pressure outside the off stump. Second new ball. Oh, this is going to be close. Very close. No, says Dharmasena.
Could have been struck outside the line of the off stump. He's been struck on the knee roll, it looks to me. Could have been an inside edge as well. Outside the off stump. That's what he's mouthing. You can see that.
Very close to that inside edge as well from here. But clearly you could lip read was that what Dharmasena was saying. It seemed like more outside. That's what he was trying to tell the bowler. Can't really pick too much from hotspot from this angle. But there was one little contentious one about the impact outside the off stump with Shane Watson. I think this is a similar situation where he's ruled that this has impacted outside the line of the off stump. Tell you what. Oh, good shot this. Brad Haddin is starting to get some flow in his game. The dangerous player at this position, and I keep saying this is a dangerous situation for India when they have the opposition at 200 for 5, 150 for 5 or 250 for 5. Shouldn't let this one slip away.
He got another couple of runs in just a single, in fact. That's interesting. Oh, there you are. We did mention the previous ball. That was a very unusual way of leaving it. Now he's attracted the ball almost. 253 for 5. It's always there.
Tournaments like the Big Bash League and the IPL, which take it to another level in terms of playing, being committed to, you know, a domestic format of the game as well. And that's right across the world. So there's a lot of cricket, and, you know, these guys have to train their minds to understand that it has to be about the now. It has to be about the test match that you're playing at hand. And what a test match as well, Boxing Day.
I love him when he stands up tall. Some of his back foot play in the last test was outstanding. 253 for 5.
What I really enjoy, though, about a batsman is someone who goes goes and gets a start and then gets a really big 100. And it all starts by taking responsibility yourself.
2 for 52 so far for Mohammad Shami. You look down those figures and say, right, 17th over, 2 for 53. I've had a decent day today. I've picked up a couple of wickets.
So he's got 2 balls now. What do you reckon?
I'll tell you what I liked about that single, though, was Haddon was running hard on the first run. You'll see a lot of batsmen with 2 balls left jogging the first run because they want to be the non-strikers in last 2. It didn't matter because Smith took the single.
It's a game of cat and mouse, isn't it? Last ball. Big responsibility.
The other thing is it's going to end bang on time. So Brad Haddin survives, Australia survive a combative, hard day's cricket. 259 for 5. They'll be delighted with the way this last partnership has gone. 43 from 115 balls, Haddin 23. But I think once again, Matthew, the innings of the day has come from Steve Smith. Australia will look at that card and think it's an opportunity lost. Rogers 57, Watson 52. They talk about big hundreds. Matthew Hayden keeps talking about converting starts to 100. They'll be disappointed with Rogers, Watson and Marsh, even though they got going. But Smith is still around 72 and Brad Haddin's put a nightmare behind him. Even if for now, with 90 overs bowled in exactly the allotted time, it's been a wonderful day's Test cricket.